Hey everybody, I have a massive project that I just wanted to try and I just wanted to share it with everybody. I know it's very ambitious, but I've got it into my head to make a Harry Potter save file. I was just thinking the other day, I really want to try something really challenging, but also really fun. And there's nothing I love more than Harry Potter. So here we go. So as you can see, we are starting off with the Dursleys. So right now we're making Harry Potter. I'm just going through and I am selecting his outfits. Harry, I had a little bit of trouble selecting his clothes just because EA is not great at oversized children wear. I wanted to have something that would reflect his passing hand-me-downs from Dudley, and unfortunately I searched high and low in their section, but I could find ripped jeans, I could probably find baggy jeans. There is not anything approaching bagginess to that level that is in the Sims 4 catalogue, so we do what we can and we try our best. So right now I am just looking for tattered, I'm looking for just, colours of Gryffindor and everything, and I'm just trying to sort of lean into his muggle attire a little bit more. There'll come time where, I'll do other families like the Malfoys and the Blacks and everything, and I can really lean into the magical aspect of them. However, what I'm planning to do is when I make the Dursleys, I'm going to make it so that Harry isn't a wizard yet. So he's not quite there yet, but he could be. So as soon as he grows up and everything and he can get into the magical world, I want to start right at the very beginning. I want to start with 11-year-old Harry Potter with his little glasses and his messy hair. I wanted to strike a balance between movie Harry and book Harry, and same with all the other characters that I'm going to do. I'm going to try and take inspiration from the movie while also keeping in mind the characteristics of the characters within the books, because sometimes there is a bit of a difference. For example, Harry is so lovely in the movies, but his hair is not messy until like the third movie, and it just kills me every time I see that gorgeous little bowl cut of his, of Daniel Radcliffe's. So in this time, we are going messy hair, we are going absolutely all out. I think we're moving on to Petunia now, and Petunia I had a lot of fun with. I wanted to sort of take inspiration from her characteristics from the book. So in the book, she is tall, she is skinny. I imagine her skeletal almost in her imposing nature. And she's also blonde, but I didn't want to quite go down that route. So we're just starting off with mean, materialistic, but neat Petunia Dursley. I wanted to lean into the housewife aspect of her as well. So I am trying to do like all kinds of housewife attire. I would love it if I could have an apron in there. I tried, but I didn't quite get there. Right now I'm just cycling through, trying to find a base that I can work off of and then I can build off of there. That's really much how I do my actual creating of characters. I start out with something that's sort of the vibe of the character and then I just build from there. So right now I'm going for cartoony evil character. I'm like trying to arch the eyebrows as much as I possibly can. I have to get the hair right. It has to be housewife, it has to be dark, it has to be just cartoon villain. So right now I'm going through all the characteristics of the housewife, trying to just find the best hair possible. I think I already hit upon it early on in the piece, but I'll go back to it eventually and I'll go, yes, this is the one. So you can see me there doing the eyebrows, and then I am just cycling through. I also wanted to give her a very sharp nose. Every time I think of villainous characters, I just love to exaggerate their features. So I am putting in that sharp nose of Petunia Dursley's. I love the idea that she looks down her nose at Harry a lot, and that her face is just sort of drawn and long, and just sort of her face is just a bit weathered, like the bitterness has sort of eaten away at her beauty. Even though, she's got this sort of sour look on her face, it's sort of reminiscent of her childhood, being jealous of Lily. So I am trying to lean into that. I'm trying to just, you can see her nose from the side. I'm trying to just go right into that, give her some wrinkles, give her some fine features, and just sort of while she has the outward appearance of a gorgeous housewife, the sort of evilness of her character is sort of taken over. So this is me just fiddling with her proportions. I'm thinking very thin and just sort of trying to make a comparison between the absolute thinness of Petunia Dursley and the absolute whale proportions of Dudley and Vernon. So right now I'm just going through and I'm doing makeup. I'm trying to keep it very modest, nothing too overdone. I don't feel like Petunia would go for something too overly made up. I feel like she's also a bit conservative, so I'm just trying to toe the line. The red lipstick was probably a push, but it fits so perfectly with her already so amazing appearance. I just had to keep the red lipstick. But we are going again in with the eyebrows, trying to make her look as angry and sour as possible off the bat, just naturally. And now we're going through and we are trying to pick out a beautiful outfit for her. Again, I tried all the aprons. I was going for housewife, and I didn't want cheerful housewife. I wanted garden party, but stuck up snobby woman who sort of leans over fences and gossips with neighbors kind of thing, but is too good for everyone anyway. So I'm trying. I felt like a lot of these were a bit too cheerful, a bit too churchy. I wanted that perfect, conservative, covered up, but also a little bit trying to be glamorous kind of thing. I feel like a lot of the outfits that we got in Cottage Living are just too drab for Petunia. I feel like she is still a bit, extra. She's trying to maintain a lovely house, and so she is going for those florals, even though, she still looks a bit drab in the end. And here we finally captured the dress. Yes, there's daisies. I'm trying to go for some nails. I feel like she'd do nails. And I'm just trying to keep her a little bit glamorous, a little bit drab, still housewife. I love the wraparound dress. And then I tried to sort of envision what she would actually wear to certain events. Like if she was going for dinner with the mayor or something, what would she be wearing? And that's when I discovered the pearls, and the pearls just make this outfit. I think I actually continued her pearls all through her outfit, same with her makeup. I just wanted to continue it all through, have a through line, and just have her be such a character. So now we are going into formal wear. I thought, let's stick with the blue theme. Let's go sort of still quite covered up, but also a little bit girly. And then I don't think Petunia would ever be doing any working out. I'm sure she must, because she has such a skinny figure. So she's probably in there, probably in the den while Vernon's at work doing her Pilates or something in secret. She would never ever probably do it in public. She'd never step foot outside of that house and go and run around the neighborhood where Mrs. Fig could see her. Absolutely not. I tried to give her like night cream in her sleepwear as well, just because I wanted, she still wants to keep up appearances and everything. So yeah, and this is her party wear. I think is a little more daring, off the shoulder, shoulders showing. And then I got onto the idea of hats. I think Petunia would so lean into the idea of the housewife hat. It's very 50s, and I absolutely love it. It goes with her pearls, it goes with the aesthetic of her. So yes, this is just me doing her summer wear. I just wanted long skirts, and then I think I played around with some hats for her winter wear, but I don't think I ended up doing it just because I thought, it's too much. So I just tried very basics, very English, very drab colors, just to sort of lean into the suburbia. But I'm really happy with how she turned out. I think she is so unique, and I can't wait to play with her, honestly. She is so fun. I can't wait for her to be absolutely evil and just sick her on poor little Harry. And I think I went in and added some more hats just to some of her outfits, just because I wanted to go, oh my god, yes, this woman is hat person. And then we move over to Vernon. I had a lot of fun with Vernon, but this is where some of my frustration with EA comes in. It's very hard to make larger bodied people in The Sims look like they are actually larger bodied people in real life. Just something about it just does not sit right with me. I think it's the size of the neck, or it's the size of the head. It just never comes out properly for me, and I'm not sure if it's something I'm doing. But here I am, I'm just starting with his grey hair. I wanted to go similar features. I wanted beady eyes. I'm changing Petunia's eye colour just because I had to go back and I'm like, no, she doesn't have green. This is Vernon. I wanted him to have the angry, bushy eyebrows. I wanted him to have these small, tiny, beady eyes of rage that I just sort of imagine him having. I reckon the actor who portrayed him in the movies did such a good job of just going for that cartoon evil, almost twirling his thick mustache kind of way. This is me just trying to bulk up his face, because in the books, Vernon is described as whale-like, and also so does Dudley. So I am just so trying to find the correct mustache. I'm trying to find the correct hair, just because I know that the hair will make him. It's very hard with all the colors to sort of get that grayish black, stressed out, just middle-aged man going about his job at Gunnings and just trying to get that personality through. And I think I cottoned on to something a little classic. He's got like, yes, this one. He's got a little hair that just falls very Superman-like. I think it's very neat and it's very suburban. I think it's something Vernon would go for. And then I'm just trying to bulk up his face, honestly. I'm trying to get that mustache as big as possible just so I can lean into the cartoon aspect. I'm trying to add in some age lines, trying to add in some imperfections. I think imperfections on Sims absolutely make the Sims. I toyed around with his ears a little bit and then I move on to the body. So I tried to just get him as big as possible. I felt like his shoulders were too broad. I felt like the evilness of his character would sort of lend itself better if he had some sloping shoulders, not these straight out rectangle shape, but very much the sloping, moving towards the middle and absolutely ballooning out from there, just so his middle is the absolute whale aspect of him rather than the whole thing and making it look a bit silly. And then I'm moving on to his clothes. I think I struggled slightly with his clothes. I felt like I wanted to go for man on a weekend outfit, but also a man that cares what his neighbor thinks. King of the castle, but also it's his day off. He's not going to work today. So I think I found this one and I absolutely love it. I think it's perfect. I love the high waistline, just so we can sort of just lean into that. And then I think I played around with his hair a little more, and then I just basically decided that I was happy with what I chose first. I just wanted to see if there were any more options. And then I'm moving on to his sportwear. I not think it's getting any use. I loved the idea that he would have like his dressing gown. I just see him in the second Harry Potter movie trying to get into Harry's room while Harry's trying to go out the window. And I feel like he is such a dressing gown person, definitely in plaid. And then, I don't know, I thought maybe I'd go a little bit adventurous with his summer wear, just because I feel like this man would go on holiday to Florida or something. So I love his little plaid shorts and his little suburban tan shirt that's sort of buttoned up. I love that. And then I just wanted to go with something layered and nice and sturdy for his winter wear. And then we're moving on to Dudley. Now this is where I had a lot of artistic interpretation, because in the books and in the movies, to a certain point, Dudley is quite robust, like his father. In the books, he is specifically referenced as being very whale-like, almost an exact copy of his dad. So, as you can imagine in The Sims, that was very hard to replicate, because children are no fun in The Sims. EA will just not let you have fun with kids. I tried to give Harry a scar on his face, and EA was like, no, kids don't have scars. And I'm like, what do you mean? Of course they do. But anyway, no scarf for Harry, unfortunately. It's just not something we get unless I'm willing to download a mod, which I'm not. So here we are. I'm trying to make Dudley as sort of annoying neighborhood bully as much as I possibly can. So I am giving him the freckles. I'm giving him quite the wide face. I feel like he looks like a bit Mad Max, if that makes sense. Those magazines I think I saw in childhood. So I'm just trying to look. I love his haircut. It's not the haircut he had in the movie. It's not the haircut he had in the books. But I just love his little bowl cut haircut. It just makes him so punchable, and I feel like I just want to just hate this kid. If I knew this Dudley in childhood, I would hate him too. So he's got a little bit of a goody two-shoes for his parents, but absolute terror to the neighborhood kids. So I love his little bow tie. I love his little angled eyebrows and his little mouth that's just sort of always little, it's thin lips, but also smirking. And then we go back to Harry. I think I toyed around with his skin color a little bit more. Felt like he was just a bit too pale. And then I think I cottoned onto something that changed everything. I gave Vernon blush just because I wanted to lean into the aspect of him red with anger constantly. So I love that I added that in. I think it really adds to his person. And then I went in and made Petunia's nose just a little bit longer. And then I think I just did last minute touches with everything. And then I decided that if I was going to make the Dursleys, I had to make James and Lily as well, because I wanted to establish the relationships between everybody while I was in Creator Sim. So I started out with making a genetic match with Harry to make him an exact copy of his dad. So as you can see here, I've got James going. He's basically a copy of Harry. He's a grown-up Harry. I've got the glasses, I've got the messy hair in a different hairstyle, a little bit broader because he's a Quidditch star and he's a grown man and he's been fighting in a war, and then obviously young, and he's not like he's portrayed in the movies at all. I'm going full book James here because in the movie obviously he is aged up and we don't really quite want that because it's not accurate. So I am going Wizarding World slight fashion. He's a pureblood, he's got the vest. He's a little bit formal, but a little bit carefree. And I love the back of his vest. It's got some lovely pattern on it. This is just me establishing relationships already. So just going in, I'm trying to find him some formal wear. He'll never use it because I'm going to immediately kill him off as soon as we move him into the neighborhood. So I just want Harry to have his dead parents as part of his family tree. I want Petunia to have a difficult relationship with her dead sister. I want Harry to have Petunia as his aunt, and I want those relationships there. So you have to sort of go in early and establish those people that you want in the family tree and establish those relationships early. This is just me going through adding swimwear, adding summer wear and winter wear, and just trying to get as much magical influence as I can in there. And then just personality wise, he's adventurous, he's childish. I wanted to lean into that, but he's also quite self-assured, typical Gryffindor. So yep, and then he's obviously a match for Harry. And then I believe I went into Lily. I randomized, I hit on something pretty early on. I felt like her face was intelligent, but also quite open and kind. So I really wanted to lean into that. There's me going for the eyes. I wanted the green eyes on him, so I changed that up to his emerald green Potter eyes. Actually, you know what? Pardon me. I went in and changed it to hazel because I'd accidentally set green eyes for James. And then I'm going in with Lily and I'm adding those emerald greens for her because they are her eyes. It's a very important plot point. Cannot miss that. And then I am just establishing relationships now. I'm doing close for all the Dursleys just because even though they're not great people, they are actually, you know, close. They'll sit down on Sundays and have a bit of a chat. They're probably not close later years when Dudley branches off and becomes an absolute a-hole. But now we're just moving on to Lily. I wanted her long hair from the movies. I'm not sure if I really went the red or if I went the more orangey red. I feel like the more orangey red is a bit more natural rather than the box dye blood red that we see in The Sims. So I think I went back and forth between those two, but I'm just looking for that perfect long motherly hair, slight curls, and just wanting to make it absolutely perfect. And then I think I go through and I just try and make her a little bit 90s fashion influence. And then obviously she is incredibly smart. She is a bookworm, but I think I chose something else for her, family oriented. And then I went with good. Just sort of a balance to James, just sort of getting their main characteristics in there. And then I'm going through and I am just adding in what I can, giving her some freckles because I love freckles, some moles, just because she has that I'm pretty sure Lily has freckles, or I imagine she has freckles. I would love Lily to have just the faintest freckles because I think I also gave Harry freckles. I think everyone should have freckles. They're adorable. So as you can see here, I'm trying to lean into the 90s fashion influence. It's almost 70s if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, it's 70s, 80s, something around that era. I imagine it's corduroy as well. And then just, you know, the tights and everything. And then I'm trying to find her muggle influence clothes, but also slightly magical still. Like Lily would never abandon her muggle-born inheritance, so she's still quite proud of that, but she's also married to a pureblood, so I don't think she'd put too much stock in it, but I'm just trying to still keep the magic in her wardrobe a little bit. So I'm not quite sure how much I ended up going with her formal wear. I think I ended up on this beautiful yellow number just because it went so gorgeous with her hair. And then I'm just going through and fixing up last touches. And that is it. That's everybody. I'm currently in the middle of making the Dursleys' house, number 4 Privet Drive. It is absolutely gorgeous. I will be posting that soon, but I just felt like making a Harry Potter save just randomly. So I wanted to share this with everybody. I love Create a Sim. I love creating in-depth story and just sort of seeing where it goes. So this was an absolute blast to make. But I'm having the best time making the Dursleys in Privet Drive. Obviously, they are in the cottage living neighbourhood, being England, but not the magical world quite yet. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye-bye.